man, Trevor Huddleston. Trevor, congratulations on winning the title. We saw you in victory lane and getting your trophy and all the things that go with the celebration. But what does this moment mean to you and your team?
Oh, it means so much. I mean, even just to come in here and be with you guys is pretty epic. Me and my family have been working at this team for a long time. I've been involved since I was 12, but my dad started this as a high school auto shop project, and he was the lucky one to get his name pulled to drive the car. So, the High Point Racing started a long time ago. So, to get this championship under our family's team and me driving is beyond special. I might be drinking Martinelli's right now, but I promise when we get back it will not be just Martinelli's. We had some kids in victory lane, but it was awesome. And just experiencing all this is truly unbelievable.
Okay, if you have a question for Trevor, please raise your hand. We'll get you a mic. We'll start here and then go to Luke.
Noah Reed, Kenny Wallace Media. Trevor, talking to you yesterday, you said the emotions hadn't quite settled in yet, knowing that you had clinched the championship. But also to do it with the circumstances, knowing what your father has done for this sport. What does it mean to you to bring this to him after all that he's done for racing across the West Coast?
He gets emotional at random times, right? And I didn't think that this would really make him emotional. He was pretty choked up when we crossed that finish line. I think it's really special because it's not like I was able to do it in a random car. This is literally the car that my dad and his friends designed on a piece of paper when he was 16 years old. And 2-3 years ago, and even now when the NASCAR video game came out, those were the only moments we ever imagined to see his project, that you could say, on the racetrack. And to get to do a burnout at Phoenix for the championship, it's a dream come true for all of us, but especially for him, just because, we still have people from his high school auto shop team still working with us today, so it's kind of special for everybody.
I know Tim also gets a lot of the spotlight and the credit, but kind of quietly working in the background is your mom, Lisa. What was the moment like to share this with her and the build up for this week?
Yeah, no doubt. My mom and dad are the dynamic duo, right? They feed off each other and they work nonstop. I can't keep up with them, and I think my mom keeps my dad grounded sometimes because he gets a little crazy. So together, we're gonna celebrate a lot. My mom wanted to be here for every aspect of it because she's been there. When I was younger, even when I wasn't racing, she was still at the racetrack. And to get all to those races when I was young and all those things, as many people would tell you, a lot of young racers, the parents are the ones that literally are helping you make your dreams come true. And yeah, as much as my dad does, my mom does just as much, maybe just in different ways. So super special that we got to have them all here. I had a lot of my grandparents here, friends and family. They came all the way out from LA, so really couldn't have gone better.
Go to Wolfgang, then Davey.
Wolfgang Munzer from German Radsport Pro Section. First of all, congratulations. Directly after the race, you said a quote which was very impressive and also very surprising at the same time for me. If I understood it correctly, you told the interviewer you just did it with one engine, correct?
Yeah, correct. There's obviously the two different engine packages in the West Series. You have the Ilmor and then the Yates engine, the spec engine. And with anybody can tell you racing's expensive. So we kind of wanted to divvy up the money in certain ways, and we believed in Robert Yates Racing, and they said, all right, as long as you do your job, we should be able to run this thing all year. So there's a lot of finger crossing, but they were confident, right? They knew the product that they provided, and we believed in them. They were there every single race. And that's why, if you notice, the whole year, I didn't do a burnout, because you never know, right? I changed that today. We kind of annihilated the tires. The engine's still running, but we'll have to take it out and check it for next year. But yeah, all year long, I think we put on about 1,600 to 1,700 miles, and it never missed a beat.
But nevertheless, is this not stressful? You're always expecting and hoping nothing has to put the engine. When it's breaking down, bang, you're done, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, but like I said, Robert Yates and everyone who works there, they spend a lot of time and they make sure their product's perfect. And even though they would like to sell you a whole bunch of motors, that's not really how they run. They want to provide the product that they think is confident and they're good. And from day one, they told us it'll make it the whole year. right? So even though in the back of our head I was stressing out a little bit, I believed in them because they were there every single race and just checking on it. And I mean, we led a lot of laps with that thing, so they did a good job, I guess.
So it's a spec engine with a rev limiter, just to understand the rules a little bit.
Yeah, so it's not really the rev limiter, it's a gear limiter. So we're not allowed to have, there's a certain gear that we're allowed to go to. So it's a spec engine, and then NASCAR provides us with a gear, and we go to the maximum or minimum. We would want more, obviously, but we go to what they say we're allowed to.
Go to Davey and then Jeff.
Davey Siegel with SiriusXM. Trevor, I know you're still young, but when you were a young buck, you were racing against a lot of drivers that are winning and competing right now in the National Series for wins and championships. And as you alluded to earlier, money is a thing, and it's hard to get all the funding together to get to that point. The fact that you have done it here this way, and with your team and all the things that you've mentioned, obviously that makes it feel a little bit different, feel a little bit sweeter, but reflecting on the journey that you personally have had professionally to get to this point, how do you reconcile all that into what you're feeling today?
Yeah, no doubt. It is a little weird. Somebody said I'm the veteran now in the ARCA series, and that kind of trips me out because when I started, way back when I met you in the K&N series, you know, I looked at a lot of these people kind of like my idols. And I'm not saying I'm other people's idols, but what I mean is like, these are the people that you like hope and dream to be, and you're like, how on earth are they racing still like this competitively? And now I sit back and I'm like, wait a second, I've ran just as much as them now. And you have kids that are 14, 15, 16, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, you're insanely talented. Like, what, times have changed. I'm 28, 29, and I'm like, man, like what, this sport is so dynamic. There's so many people involved. And you know, that it's just cool to see, I think they talked about this on the TV the other day, but I think in the 12, or in all three divisions, everybody in the championship 4 all came from an ARCA platform, and that just shows you the immense talent that kind of comes through the series. And so I've been lucky enough to see a lot of that talent, like Jesse Love, Dean Thompson, all these people that I've raced side by side with, Derek Krause for a while, and you know, it's special, right? Because you know, it's cool, you watch them progress, and you cheer them on Sundays, Saturdays, and have fun. Cole Custer, all these people, they all came from the battling grounds that is the ARCA series, you know?
Go up here to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff Gluck from The Athletic. In this world, we talk a lot about Fontana, the loss of Fontana, but for you, like losing Irwindale is a tremendous loss, and that community in Southern California, you know, that I'm sure is really affected by that. Where do you think the state of racing is in Southern California for families and teams like yours who, you know, have come up through this way? Like, is there still a place for people to follow your path up into the national ranks?
Yeah, no, for sure. Irwindale closing was something that, you know, you never foresee coming. And the day it finally came, it kind of didn't feel real, right? I mean, I was there when we were literally tearing the grandstands down, and I saw it when it's just now a parking lot. And so, I mean, that was where I was raised. So that took a long time to get over, but you got to bounce back, right? With anything, not just this, but you got to, whatever setback you have to figure out how to make it even better. And my family and so many racers on the West Coast know that racing out here on the West is still predominant, right? Like, we still have a lot of people interested. And the thing, I think, a key moment that really kind of sparked this kind of trend on the West Coast is Kevin Harvick partnering out here at Kern County Speedway, Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. It kind of sparked a joy in a lot of people because it showed that the people from the East Coast still know that there's a West Coast that exists. So I think we're on this upwards trajectory because the Cars Tour West is a division that's kind of feeding drivers into the ARCA Menard series. And as you notice, I think we had a lower car count last year and the year before, and then each year it's starting to build. I mean, we had average 15 cars. 15 cars that were all pretty competitive, I should say. So, you know, it's on the rise. We got a lot of things going for us. Kevin Harvick's really hard in pushing that Bakersfield and all up and down there. There's a lot of people, and we still could compete. So I think with his knowledge and his connections, you're going to see a lot of big things coming out of the West Coast.
Over here to the
Thank you. Crystal Clay Racing Refresh. I'm just curious, what high school was it that your dad went to where he started this sketch of the team?
Yeah, he started in University High out in LA. It was a high school shop team with 6 people, and his teacher was a racer out at Sauga Speedway, and they built a car and they pulled a name out of a hat, and my dad's name was the one that was pulled, so I got to drive. So it's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, out of these 6 people, right, if it wasn't my dad's, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. So it's just crazy how the world works, and everything happens for a reason.
All right, anything else for Trevor? All right, well, Trevor, well, congratulations on this championship.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me.